So I just saw the second Joker movie, Folly Ado, and I have a lot of thoughts that I want to talk about with the film. I want to let it ferment a little bit, let it sit, let it kind of like fester, because there's a lot of things that I enjoyed and things that I can understand, definitely can understand why people are already disliking it and not giving it a chance. So let me just sit on this and let it ferment. Alright, now that it smells like shit. See, I'm kind of torn on this movie, Joker Folly Ado. I saw the Transformers 1 movie, I thought that was really great. Honestly, that exceeded expectations for like a kids looking movie. I actually really enjoyed it and I hope that there's a continuation of a second film. I'm not here for Transformers, I just wanted to get that out of the way quickly. It was worth a watch, I would say go watch Transformers. But Joker Folly Ado, the second film, sequel to the first Joker film that came out in 2019, I believe. Right now it's Tuesday, October 8th. It was only literally me and one other person in the theater, and I had asked her questions at the end of the film what she thought about the film. And it's basically what you would hear online. I want to get this out of the way, I suppose. Okay, so it's not a bad film. It's not. It really feels like an extension of the first film. All the cinematography, camera angles, the heartfelt moments that you feel, the emotions, the intensity of the suspense, you know, like the kind of like quivering shakiness you would get at your cheeks, like, ooh, this is good. All those Joker moments. Fantastic. Literally, like, it was great. Those parts were great. But I also understand the criticism and how right now, apparently it's bombing harder than Mobius on opening weekend. And that's really hard. That's really hard to hear because the movie is nothing like Mobius. Mobius straight up sucked donkey cock and balls at the same time. This is not even a close competition of a comparison between Mobius and Joker Folly Ado. Honestly, Mobius was the worst fucking thing that's ever happened in cinema history, and Concord was the worst thing that's ever fucking happened in video game history. Is the movie really that bad as everyone's making it out to be? No, of course not. It's really not. It's still a good, decent, enjoyable movie. But I am agreeing with everyone that a lot of the songs are holding this film back. And it's not like they're bad songs, it's just, you know what? Okay, spoilers. Spoilers on everything. I was gonna try to avoid everything as much as possible, but fuck it. I'm gonna talk about spoilers and I'm gonna show some shit. Fuck it.
That is really a show. Sends you out.
Please stop.
Please stop.
I don't want to sing anymore.
I have to throw that in there because it will make more sense in the future when I talk about it. The movie starts with this stupid bullshit. Okay, this was supposed to be a parody reference to all the classic Warner Brother cartoons, like, you know, with Porky the Pig. That's all, folks. This I have to get out of the way. This was boring. This was really fucking out of place. This did not fit with the film at all. This was a babyfied cartoon explanation of why Joker is the way he is, and I get it, it's meant to like be artsy and show that he's got split personality disorder, that Arthur Fleck and the Joker are two different people. I get it. I am not saying that this was not needed. I'm saying that the animation and the way they presented it was useless and pointless. They explained all of this shit that Arthur Fleck is different from Joker since the first film. We already had that established. This animated Warner Brothers cartoon Bugs Bunny bullshit was just unnecessary. After that stupid bullshit, then we finally start to get into the movie where, you know, I was waiting for. It's just that intro cartoon lasted like 3 minutes, and it was so, like, what the fuck? I came here to see Joker, not a stupid-ass fucking cartoon. So it just really felt like a bitch slap in the face as soon as you start watching this movie. Like a kick in the dick. Like a spit in your eye. Just adding salt to the wound. From what I'm already hearing online, like, thanks, Warner Brothers, you had to add that in there? Cool. Fucking useless. Anyway, so now we get into the meat and bones of the film. Now we're starting it.
Go, get up. Let's go.
And when the saints go marching in. This movie immediately picks up where the last movie left off, I suppose, where, Arthur is supposed to be in like in a psych ward in Arkham Asylum's hospital. So I'm thinking, and this is something that I think is happening at the end of this movie as well, is that a lot of this at the end isn't what really happened, because we saw him in a hospital in a white gown with blood on his shoes, walking down a hallway, a really cool scene to kind of show that he will return, that he's still kicking it. Pardon the pun. And then we see reality. So we see his thought, what he wants to have happened. That's what he wanted to have happened. But this film shows reality, what did happen and how it carried out afterwards. So the whole Joker movie happened the way it did, but the ending was not how Arthur wanted it to have ended it. Same exact thing that I'm thinking is happening in this movie. It's kind of like a taunt. He's kind of just fucking with everyone in the prison. Also, there is nudity. I realize that that guy right there in the back is naked, but he's blurred out and you can't see shit. Agatha all along got away with it. This man can too. Just, he's blurred out in the distance, so he's fine. So they show Arthur Fleck carrying a bucket of piss and shit. They don't have toilets, so every morning, I assume, or once a week, they have these prisoners carrying out the buckets to throw it away. And it starts out just like the Joker movie did, like the first Joker movie. That great lighting, great cinematography, camera angles, sound. It's just, it continues really good at this point where I was like, okay, fuck the cartoon. I can actually watch this. Let's start watching it. He's been in prison for 2 years from what I'm understanding, and they pour all their piss into the sinks over here, just kind of showing what life in prison had been like ever since he was captured, arrested, and stories come out about him. Apparently in this universe they even make a Joker film mocking the character, but we don't get to see it. We don't get to see the in-universe Joker movie. Maybe the first Joker movie that we see was the in-universe Joker movie that they had shown. I don't know, but anyway, life in prison.
Let's go.
So the guards are constantly like harassing him, berating him. They're asking him like, hey Arthur, you got a joke for us? Mr. Funny Guy, you got a joke for us? He's kind of just been numb and dead on the inside. He hasn't really made much comments. He hasn't even attempted to escape or anything. He's just kind of sitting there accepting that I'm this person that everyone sees me as. Like, I totally get it. Like, I'm not, why fight about it, you know? He's being bullied hopelessly in the cells, and one of the guards accidentally nicked him when they were shaving his face just now. The guards show like these black umbrellas. They're just walking themselves in protection while Arthur is kind of getting soaking wet. He's on his way to meet his lawyer. And then you see colorful umbrellas where he's just kind of escaping a little bit into his own mind. This is not what's really happening. These colorful umbrellas is not true to reality. So we're already seeing that he's still the unreliable narrator, that some things are not going to be seen as we're seeing it. This is just his perspective at this moment. Him trying to think lighter, him trying to just escape mentally, not physically. And this is where he meets Harley for the first time. He sees her singing in choir.
Hey.
She says hey to interrupt them, and then does the thing that she did in the trailer with the fingers. And that brings a smile to him. That makes life a little bit more colorful for him. So for the first time since the movie started, within 10 minutes, he has not smiled, he has not spoken, he has not giggled, laughed, nothing. He's just been accepting his actions for everything. He's been numb and dead on the inside. And then when he starts like thinking about the rain, and he starts having that little bit of a musical vibe to him, and then he meets Harley, then he appears again, not just as Arthur Fleck, but the Joker. He's not suppressing himself as he was. The lawyer's a little pissed off because he's wet, and the cops just kind of yeah, we used an umbrella for ourselves. Why would we give him an umbrella? Pfft, you know the rules, dumbass lawyer.
You're welcome, by the way, for getting them all cleaned up for you.
Not only because they shaved him and they cut his lip, but also because, you know, they cleaned him up with the rain, the water, you know?
You came out dressed as Joker, dancing to that music.
Well, I really liked his band.
Yeah, same.
My mom and I used to watch the show together.
Kind of explaining his little bit of like the musical touch that he has since the first movie. I mean, we've all seen it. Obviously, it was the most iconic thing. Millions of people watched the film. It was the year of Joker. This year, for sure, is not going to be the year of Joker. I really wished it was. I wanted it to be another year of Joker, but from the performance of the film, and again, understandable, it's really not that bad. It's still a good, decent film when you have these moments, these character developing moments. It's not humanizing him. It's not. But because I keep hearing people say, oh, this is trying to give pity to poor Arthur Fleck. Like, no, this is about literally society. This is how everyone else is treating him and viewing him because of his conditions. Obviously, he's a criminal. He murdered people. I'm not denying that. He doesn't deny that. That's not what I'm defending here. What I'm trying to say is he's in a shitty position. No one believes him. No one cares about Arthur. No one likes Arthur. He grew up thinking that he would bring smiles and joy and laughter to the world, and he was lied to by his own mother. And we hear this later on in a very heartbreaking courtroom like moments analysis kind of thing going on. Harvey Dent is really being a dickhead, really just putting salt into the wound that Arthur Fleck was never loved by anyone, not even his own mother. Even when he wanted to be a good guy, when he wanted to just make people smile and be happy, and he used his laugh for a good purpose, and it haunts him. That's why he has a separate personality of Joker and Arthur. Right now he's not laughing because he's not Joker. Right now he is Arthur. He will become Joker again. He's on Arkham Asylum, the island right there. This I can't tell if it's real or not. I thought this is where the songs are gonna start happening, like the whole song and dance number routine. I can't tell if this is also something that a prisoner has, or if this is something in his head where he's just thinking about the music, because he's constantly hearing the guards sing, "Oh, when the saints are marching in." That song. I forgot what it's called. It's probably just Saints Marching. Arthur's alone here in this corner, just kind of not speaking again.
Arthur.
This guy comes up because he was just talking with the guards in the background, that the guards were saying, "Hey, I was told that you give free kisses. Can I get a kiss?" And Arthur then proceeds to kiss him.
The guard said you wanted to show me how to kiss. But they said Joker's a really good kisser. Nobody's ever gave me a kiss before.
This guy is not doing it to actually insult Arthur Fleck. He's actually doing this because he's curious. He's a bisexual, or just some guy that's never had a kiss with a woman before. He's being truthful here. At first, I thought he was fucking with him. He was just bullying him. But he's being genuine here, and we learned this later, that this guy is actually like a guy that cares about Arthur Fleck, not just the Joker. But it's just he's very gullible of an inmate that when the guards say, "Yeah, you want a kiss? Go ask that guy for a kiss." he becomes the joke with Joker. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to actually happen, but so now the cops are laughing in the background, and the more jokes that they get Joker to talk about, like with Arthur being quiet as he is, the more that he makes jokes and he's the plaything for these officers, he gets rewarded with cigarettes. And we'll see that in a second.
I gotta be honest with you, Arthur. I wouldn't have took you for a hopeless romantic.
Have a cigarette?
Why not?
The only time he gets rewarded, or he gets, what he just wants an escape. He wants to just not think about the misery that he's in. He has to do something stupid or entertaining to these officers, which is really degrading. It's gross on these officers' part. They're very abusive of him. I believe there's also a shower scene where he gets raped by the 3 officers because they get really pissed off with him. And no one believes Arthur when he's like in the court saying that, "Yeah, I've been getting abused by the police officers. They harass me. They make me into a joke. Their personal like little entertainment puppet type of thing." Because at this time period, no one's gonna listen to the mentally disabled person compared to like law enforcement. They're just doing their job, keeping the prisoners in line and all that. So this isn't humanizing Joker. This is, like I said earlier, demonstrating society and how everyone else acts around the person that actually needs help and assistance, and like a mental institution where instead he's just locked in a cell. He's not getting the help or resources that he needs. So not humanizing Joker, just demonstrating that he's living in a shitty time period, and that's why he's the way he is. He was crafted this way. They've been giving him pills every day to kind of like suppress his moods and all that kind of shit. There's 3 pills in a container. I don't know if you can see it because the camera quality is kind of shit. Whatever the 3 medications are, they're keeping him at bay. They're keeping him just kind of Arthur. They're keeping him as Arthur as much as they possibly can, and not Joker.
Ward, remember with all the singing? I got you in. We're going next week.
Bullshit.
So this cop, the main bully, the main asshole, he says that he's getting Arthur into a new ward just so he can sing with the other choir people when he saw Harley. And it's not because he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart. It's because he has ulterior, alternative motives.
The fuck you do that for?
No. Went and saw Cutter and I said, "You've been good. You deserve it." Yeah.
The manipulation there. So he's an asshole, constantly fucking with Arthur, but Arthur believes that, oh, I have a friend. Okay, so even though he's mean to me, he's accepting me and he's treating me well right now. He's doing this for me. And he grows a little smile, and it's innocent and it's wholesome and it's not anything nefarious. It's just thank you. Until
Plus, I told him I'd go along with him.
Oh, there it is. That explains it.
that explains it. Yeah, he just wants to meet one of the girls over there, and the really pretty nurses. So it's more of a thing for him to not just to torment Arthur, but to also like kind of use him as his little ticket to flirt with a really cute nurse, essentially. And then he loses his smile because of that. He's like, okay, that makes more sense now. So then he comes to the classroom where then he meets Harley again. The officer then starts taking his time to talk to one of the nurses, like singing and all that. Arthur then proceeds to talk with Harley, and Harley's talking about her past, and I put that in quotes because, again, spoilers. She says that she's done horrible things and things horribly have happened to her, but it's not true. We learned this later in the movie that she was lying. She is actually a rich doctor, Dr. Harleen Quinzel, signed herself up to be in this mental asylum because she wanted to get close to him. She did not get admitted here. Her father is not dead. She did not kill anyone. She's just interested by this patient, and she wanted to get close to him and ends up falling for him romantically while trying to understand and learn of this person. So it's similar to the comics, not exactly the way that it happens, but that's the explanation here, is that she is sick, but she's using her power, her doctorate of like psychology to kind of get him back moving as the Joker, get rid of Arthur Fleck and have the Joker, because she just has something for that Joker. Meanwhile, Arthur Fleck is just like, someone likes me for me. He's falling so happy and emotional with the person that doesn't look at him or treat him like shit like the rest of the world does. This is the first person other than, oh man, what's the little guy's name? The other clown guy from the first movie that was his friend. He did not kill him. He said, I won't hurt you. Other than that guy, and he hasn't seen him in years, she's like the first person to actually respect him and just kind of talk to him.
My mother had me committed. She says I'm psychotic.
Which she is, but again, this is not true at the moment.
You know, I must have watched that TV movie they made about you like 20 times.
Yeah, there's a TV movie that they made about Joker, as I was explaining earlier. She says 20 times, but then later clarifies it was more like 4 or 5. He asks if it's good, all that kind of stuff, because he's interested in, well, does anyone like me still? Like, do people think it's good?
Yeah. Was it good? They wouldn't let me watch it.
Yeah, so he's just kind of still in his innocent baby phase whenever he's in Arthur Fleck mode.
Well, guess what? Knock, knock. Sorry, kid. Your dad was killed in a car accident.
See? She made him smile and laugh and giggle, and she knows that this is a way to entertain him. Not in a, well, I guess it is kind of a very fucking dark humor way, but still. She's learning about him. This is her job at the moment. She's dissecting him because she's interested and infatuated with this man, this Joker. Not Arthur Fleck, Joker.
And for once in my life, I didn't feel so alone anymore.
And this is the same thing parallel to what Arthur's feeling. He doesn't feel alone anymore. He sees the light, and the music comes out of him because she is in choir. She's the one doing a lot of the singing and the music, and she's what's kind of inspiring him to be in this little session right here. So she is being very manipulative. If anything, she's more of the Joker in this film than actual Joker from what we see in the comics. Usually Joker is the manipulative liar, sociopathic asshole that's abusing and using Harley, but in this universe it's kind of flipped. She's using her doctorate, her doctor's degree, her rich parents' money to voluntarily come into the psych ward just to purposely get close to him and unlock his inner Joker. She wants that Joker to be free.
You want to know what I regret most from being on the Murray Franklin show?
What's that?
That I didn't shoot first and let him ask me questions later.
that a joke, Arthur?
And now he rewards him again. This is the thing that the officers want from him. They want him to be Joker, but at the same time, they beat the shit out of him for being Arthur Fleck. It's very double standardy, as like not really, but everyone hates Arthur. Basically, the universe is saying everyone hates Arthur Fleck. You are not the joy of the world that your mom told you you were when you were a kid. But when he's Joker and he's making very dark humor jokes and something like this, you know, he gets rewarded for it. It's so manipulative, not just on Harley's end, but just all of society in general. And that's why there's a lot of sympathizers in this universe. There's a lot of people that are like, we're tired of being the butt of the joke. We're tired of like people treating us like shit, that we're just not people. It's a narrative on that. He wants.
Thanks, pal.
He wants to thank him for the cigarette because he thinks that they're friends, even though the cop is clearly bullying him and harassing him. In the theater, that slap was really fucking hard. The surround sound, I watched it in IMAX. Oh, never mind. I thought it said AMC IMAX on the cup, but it doesn't. I watched it in IMAX, and you can hear the like, boom, like the real loud hit on the back of his head. Like, this guy, he's just looking for someone to care about him. His true self. He doesn't care about his true self. He's making fun of his true self. And he just accepts it. He just continues walking. He doesn't do anything.
Let's get your medication.
Not guilty by reason of insanity makes no sense in this case.
Yeah, again, this is old tube TV. I think color first came out like in '85 or something. But Harvey Dent is arguing that pleading by insanity is not an excuse to murder people, which it isn't. The healthcare system back then, even barely today, it barely got good like 15 years ago. It just never cared or never considered people to have mental disabilities. They're just like, yeah, no, fuck that guy. He's sick. No, fuck him. No excuses. Again, I understand that. I'm not arguing against it. I'm just saying it was a lot more harsher back then, that it wasn't taken seriously at all. Oh, and this is where the first dancing sequence happens. He smokes a cigarette.
And our office will be seeking the death penalty.
Hear that, Fleck? The death penalty. They're gonna fry you, Artie. How does that feel?
I don't think you can see it from, you can't really see it from this quality. I'll try to rewind it.
They're gonna fry you, Artie.
You see how he gets more yellow here? So there's a stage light that lights up behind him as soon as he asks, how do you feel about the death penalty? So this moment right here is where he starts his singing sequence, dancing around, kind of just expressing his emotions. But this is not happening. This, how do you feel about that? Cut, the rest of it's in his head. And you can see the Warner Brothers skunk right there.
I have someone who needs me.
And he's talking about Harley. He's singing because he's found some music within him, some light, which is what that stage light is showing, but you can't see it in this quality. He's singing because of Harley. He's fallen in love and someone's accepting him for him. He's actually made a friend that he knows of that isn't just trying to make fun of him. It's such a like wholesome thought process. And then he gets bombarded by reality after he's done with this song and dance, which this takes a minute.
Answering, Arthur. How's it make you feel? You scared?
This is reality. I talked a whole bunch and didn't record any of that. God damn it. Hold on, let me see what I left off saying. Okay, so apparently OBS was recording the whole time, or for some reason it glitched out. So I didn't really get to miss any of my commentary. We're still good. But for this next part, we're gonna be seeing that there's a lot of news press reporters outside waiting for Arthur Fleck to interview him. We're gonna see that right here on the security cameras, which again, this quality you can't really see too well, but this is all the reporters that want to get an interview before he's sent to death. And this officer is asking for his autograph in the book about Bill Murray.
Hey, Fleck, I told you before. I set up an exclusive interview next month. Right before.
So he's smiling because, you know, people want to meet him, people want to talk to him, and he thinks that the officer is like, oh, he wants my autograph. Okay, that's pretty nice, pretty sweet.
Okay, let's move it.
Hang on, Jackie. He's signing my book.
Gonna be worth a fortune when they fry his ass.
Shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that. You see how he's like so... He's so like wanting a friend. He's so like trusting and gullible that this happens and he's like, Arthur Fleck, Why are you a gullible tool bag? Why? He's being so hard on himself here. And then he just kind of, instead of writing something in the book as a signature, he writes something else. Oh, it's gonna be a little bit rude. There you go. Yeah, he was gonna say put on a happy show or a happy smile or something, because he thought the cop actually wanted his autograph, but he just wanted it to be worth something to sell, a fortune. Which is a dickhead move. Again, everyone's just treating Arthur like shit. You're only valuable when you're dead. And this is where we get the other trailer. Let's get out of here.
Tony Hunter, 1953.
He's just trying to follow the rules. He's just trying to be textbook. He's just trying to be in line. He's not trying to do anything bad. He's just trying to be Arthur. He's trying to be good. But Harleen Quinzel, Dr. Harleen Quinzel, is trying to get him out of there. Joker, not Arthur. She's trying to get the Joker out of there.
It's gonna work out.
Well,
Shut up, bitch! I'm watching my movie! Fuck! And then what she does on her own is that she gets up for a smoke, which I don't know why these inmates are allowed lighters and cigarettes. She's going for a smoke. She lights up all her cigarettes here. Which is like, come on, how can no one smell that? When she says she's gonna do something like, let's get out of here, let's blow this joint, during the movie you'll figure out that she literally means what she says. So this is a good point to be like, damn, you don't fuck with Harley Quinn. She's really like on point when she says she's gonna do something. So this was a good introduction to that. People are noticing, a fire starts, everyone leaves the room, and he falls in love. The world is on fire behind him, and he sees the light, which is this woman. Like, he's seeing like, oh my god, she literally meant what she said. And this is something that she continues throughout the movie, where she will say something and then will do it. She will do it.
If they could see me now, that little gang of mine.
And then they run out together. Again, it's really cute, really nice. This didn't really need a song. Instrumentals would have been perfectly fine here to still demonstrate that this moment was happening. This is what I'm talking about, is that there's too much music. They go through an emergency exit. They did not escape the actual prison grounds. This is the gate to go outside.
Did you do that? I told you I wanted to get out of there.
Yeah, see? So he's realizing this.
crazy?
Are you crazy? Crazy in love for you, Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, Arthur Fleck. I mean, Joker. Sorry, she doesn't like Arthur Fleck. She likes Joker.
All I can say is, wow.
And then that song continues, and this is where I'm just like, okay, another song. Here we go. And then they go into another song. It's like, bro, we get it. It's not a bad song. It's just that it's interrupting the flow of the movie a little bit because it's too much music.
Last one down on the left.
So then they punish him for some reason because they think that he is a bad influence on Harley. Harleen has never shown any of like these side effects, or not side effects, behaviors is what I should say. She's never shown these type of behaviors. Again, she is a doctor, she's coming from a rich family, and she admitted herself into the hospital. So they don't believe that she did this, they believe that he did this. So he's getting punished for this by being thrown into the ice bucket or whatever the fuck that they're calling it.
You wanna play games on my watch, Arthur? 2 weeks in the hole.
In the hole, sorry. Yeah, so again, he's just kind of being fucked around, toyed with, being blamed for this shit, and it's understandable. He is a murderer, they know that. Harleen hasn't done anything. And then another musical! This is happening in his dreams, I believe. And this is where people are saying that it kind of feels more centered with the story almost being about Lady Gaga herself rather than Joker. Like this part, this whole sequence, it's beautifully nice shot. It's a good like everything song and whatever, but it's not necessary. This is just what's padding out for time. This is just too much singing. They're kind of mimicking the gesture that he does in the first movie where he like throws himself back in relief and just kind of ecstasy, where he feels free. And it's cute for a trailer. Honestly, it really is. All that color, all that beautiful dancing choreography, the love that he feels, it's in his head. He was dreaming of this since he was put in the hole. And now we're back to gray tones. Now we're back to, oh man, life is depressing and miserable and sad. Fuck, I'm in this situation again, aren't I? It's a good contrast, honestly. And this is also something that I found really weird. I'm just gonna show it actually.
Yeah.
He hears her voice.
One of the guards let me in.
And then says that one of the guards let her in. This I thought was like, wait, is this another figment of his imagination? Is this something happening in his head? No, this is real. For some reason, not only is she not in her own prison cell and not being blamed or even accused of starting a fire, but a guard let her in a man's cell.
They're sending me home.
What?
They're saying you're a bad influence on me.
Yeah, so again, they're not suspecting her at all of the crime. They're suspecting that it was Joker. And they're gonna send her home, but she's lying here. She's really signing herself out of the hospital to break him out. Oh, and when I mean break him out, I mean breaking Joker out, not like Arthur Fleck physically out of the facility. Like, she wants to break out the Joker. Sorry, I had to clarify that.
We're gonna build a mountain.
She plays him so hard, tugging at his heartstrings. She brings some makeup with her, like some blue makeup, and she's like, I want to see the real you. Again, trying to bring out the Joker. The painting goes on for a minute, so I skipped ahead a bit, and then she puts on the lipstick. Yeah, she wants Joker's dick, not Arthur's dick.
It's just us now.
Which, I mean, it's scary and it's anticipating and it's just like, ooh. She wants to bring out the monster, which she does. But my god, she's just pulling on this man's heartstrings. And then they have sex. Wasn't expecting this in a Joker film, but here we are.
It's not too late to cancel.
So then he's getting a an interview with one of the news reporters, I guess, whoever this guy is sitting in the chair in the back. He's also kind of an asshole, just kind of pressing on Arthur, making him feel more like shit. But the lawyer right here, she's trying to help him get a better image. She's actually trying to help him out, but Harley keeps convincing him that she's actually the enemy. She's not trying to help him out. It's a whole manipulation game that, again, something the Joker would do in the comics, in the video games, in the animated movies, in the other previous films before this. But this movie flips it, where Harley is the one taking advantage of him, manipulating him, psychologically tricking him into being Joker again.
An unassuming part-time party
Hi,
clown,
Arthur.
struggling stand-up comic, Fleck committed 5 horrific murders in the span of just 4 weeks.
And a failing stand-up comic. He just really has to add salt to the wound there.
I was going through a lot back then. I don't really remember much from that night. I blacked out, saw bright lights.
This is what she was telling him to say previously. Just say that he blacked out, that he saw bright lights. She wants him to plead insanity, that the Joker and Arthur Fleck are 2 different people, which, I mean, it is true, but the way that she worded it kind of makes it sound like a script, like he was supposed to read off a piece of paper for her, and he doesn't like that. He believes, or he knows that he is Joker, that it's not 2 different people. She believes that if he pleads insanity, that people will be a little bit more lenient on his sentencing, that he just won't get the death penalty, maybe he'll just get prison for life.
You don't care about, you just want to talk about my mistakes. You want to talk about the things that I did in the past, not about who I am now. Not how I'm different now.
He goes on a little tangent because the guy's pressing him on the people that he killed, the way he acted. He doesn't believe that, you know, this is an innocent man right here. He's trying to change or anything. He doesn't believe in the sexual assault that he's been through with his mother, the abuse, the beatings, any of that shit. He just says, you're a murderer. Fuck you, you're a murderer. You deserve to die. How do you feel about that? He's just pressing him, you know, he's just being an asshole reporter, as most reporters are. So he's really trying to show that he is Arthur Fleck right now, that he's just, it's not excusing anything that he did. I'm not excusing him at all. I'm just saying he's making a valid point here. And no one seems to give a shit about Arthur Fleck.
That's what we should be talking about, Patty.
We should take a break.
We're not taking a break.
You see, he's like, oh, this is getting good. We're gonna break him live on camera. Ooh, we're gonna use this to publicize who he truly is. It's just everyone's kind of a dickhead. They're using him for their own entertainment.
Okay, so tell us, what's changed, Arthur?
Well, I'll tell you what's changed, Patty. I'm not alone anymore.
The night you tried to escape.
like trying to escape.
Miss Harley Quinn.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to escape. They were just dancing and getting out of the fire.
You two put on quite a performance that night.
She's really something, isn't she?
Yeah, he's really deep in the love hole right there.
But a fool can have her charm.
And we get into another song and dance. The scary music goes down and I'm like, oh shit, things are about to get real. But he just continues singing. She's out of the facility since she checked herself out, and she's watching him on the TV since it's been broadcasted. And this is not something happening in his head. This is actually something that's being broadcasted. There are moments in the movie where it is happening in his head, like the rainbow umbrellas that we saw earlier, or the colorful umbrellas that we saw earlier. This is actually happening. It's being broadcasted. Everyone is seeing this. Excuse me? She's so cute. She fucking asked politely, excuse me, I'm just gonna break this. I would date Lady Gaga. I would absolutely. This is like the dream woman right here. Maybe a little less manipulative doctorate practices, you know, professional practices to control me, but that's a woman right there. Woo-wee! That's a woman right there. She's so cute and innocent looking. She's like, I did nothing wrong. I just want my boyfriend in the box. Look at all those supporters. The guy hanging on the back, the guy in the clown mask here. They had to take him off. A parallel in cinematography to the first film, you know, where he's in the car. People love him, and he's smiling again. He's so happy now. And then another song. She's so beautiful and cute. I love Lady Gaga. Yeah, she's in love, he's in love. It's cute, I get it, but please, just stop singing. And this guy's an asshole. So this is an actual, like, psychiatric doctor, and he's read the files on Arthur Fleck. He's only interviewed him for like 89 minutes, and the lawyer makes a good point about this. And he immediately is just deducing, yeah, fuck that guy, he needs to die. There's no plea of insanity here. Even though he's supposed to be in that professional medical field. So people are going to believe him based on his findings, which, understandable, he is the professional in the field. Why would they not believe him? Especially in this time period.
Tell me, how can you say for certain that Arthur isn't mentally ill? How can you be so sure after just 89 minutes that this Joker isn't a distinctly separate and split personality from him, that's not who he is?
Well, I also reviewed all the test results, psychological tests, neurological, and medical tests. And in my view, it's just a performance.
He's saying that he's performing the Joker, that he's fake, it's not real, that this is all just him pleading insanity for the sake of pleading insanity. And she's making a really good case here.
Did you read the records from the Department of Social Services that show that when Arthur was 7 years old, they returned him to his abuser's home? And when you interviewed him for 89 minutes, did you ask him why social services didn't believe the horrific stories a 7-year-old boy told them about the physical and sexual abuse he suffered?
No, I didn't ask him about that.
Yeah, so he just wanted to skip the case because he saw his performance on TV that he killed Bill Murray, or the Murray on the Murray Show. So in theaters, you can't really see it here, but he's sweating and he's kind of like quivering his lip a little bit. Like he's kind of like, I guess I didn't take into the account that he was a victim. I mean, but this had to have come from something, right? As a professional in his field, he didn't ask about any of that. So she's making valid points, and she is trying to help him. Joker just feels like, I'm not mentally unstable. I am Joker. I'm not Arthur Fleck. He is also denying, Arthur, he's also denying that he has anything mentally wrong with him. So he sees his own lawyer as someone also against him. Which, I mean, like, I kind of get to a certain extent, but she is really trying to help him.
From the same government agencies that abandoned him. You want us to believe that you can say with absolute certainty that Arthur doesn't suffer from any serious mental illness?
Again, making good points. Nothing really to add there other than this is a very intense moment and a really good part of the film that I enjoyed. And there's no singing!
That he didn't need to retreat into fantasy and create another identity to protect that scared, vulnerable 7-year-old boy from all the trauma and abuse he suffered.
This is giving me like Moon Knight vibes. You know how he has this distinct different personalities that he has in him? This is just powerful. This really tugs at the heartstrings.
And that identity didn't come out again when he was attacked, tormented by 3 drunk bullies on the subway.
Yeah, it's a nice little explanation of his character and his backstory, but people are gonna see that and they're gonna be like, oh, they're humanizing the Joker, oh, he's a victim, boo hoo hoo. He is a victim to an extent, but he also committed crimes. She's not denying that, he's not denying that, he knows what he's done. It's just an explanation to how he got here to begin with because of the system. The same system that failed him when he was a kid, when he was saying he needed help. He was being harassed, bullied, sexually abused, he was being physically abused as well. Being tormented essentially as a kid. That the system just like shrugged him off and said, hey, he's just being Arthur, he's just being a kid. Now he grew up and this is what they have to deal with. The same exact situation, but just now he's an adult, so now he's not a victim of anything. He can't be a victim of anything. How could he be a victim if he's an old man now? That doesn't make sense. Lock his ass up, kill him actually. It's such a powerful like statement, and this was really something that like got me, ooh, she made a good point. Again, it's not humanizing him. It's not making him be the victim. It's just explaining his past and how he is the person he is today in this universe.
There are always a lot of these unfunny jokes.
Did they really have to say that? Like, everyone's been saying he's unfunny, a failed aspiring comedian, like the guy that was interviewing him earlier. This dickhole.
The very same day that he shot and killed Murray Frank.
Murray Franklin. Oh, why am I saying Bill Murray?
You know, you're making him out to be a fucking idiot in there. Ask her why she has me sitting so far away from him.
Let's not do this here.
Okay, so this is what I wish they would have expanded on more in the film. They seem like they know each other and they're familiar, because she's saying you're making him out to look like a fucking idiot, and ask her why she's not allowing her to sit anywhere near him in the courts. It seems like they have previously established beef, especially since she's technically a doctor and she has a rich family. She's probably somewhat known in this universe, almost like a Bruce Wayne, but not really. And she's just kind of either trying to hide personal beef, or they've known each other before, or she only knows her as a psycho inmate and she's just like, no, I can't have you near Arthur because you are the one bringing the worst out of him. Arthur was behaving for years and was being fine until Harley Quinn introduced herself to his life, and now the Joker is coming back out. Maybe that's what's happening here. But this was a very interesting beef that happened.
Do you see how sick he is? How much help he needs?
He's not sick. He's perfect.
As the Joker, not as Arthur Fleck. She's kind of missing out on that detail right here, which we don't find out until later, obviously, but, and I keep spoiling it, but whatever.
She didn't grow up in your neighborhood. She lives on the Upper West Side with her parents. Her father is not dead. He's a doctor. She voluntarily committed herself to the hospital and then just checked herself out. Did she mention she went to grad school for psychiatry?
You wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it. All of these are good points. He's in denial. You know, he's in love. He's believing the person that is sticking up for him more than his own lawyer. So I guess this is the beef that they're having, is that she knows that she's just kind of playing a game to fuck with Arthur, and she's trying to protect her own client from Harley Quinn. Maybe that's what the beef was about, honestly. That's probably what it is. She knows all this information about Harley Quinn, and she's just like, Arthur is susceptible to love and romance and everything at the moment, and you're bringing out the worst of him. You're bringing out Joker, not Arthur Fleck. The lawyer is trying to protect Arthur Fleck. But Harley Quinn is like, nah, I want the Joker. Okay, this is another musical part that happens here. The song goes on for way too long. He stops singing because she's not looking at him in his head. This is all happening in his head. This is not real. This is not the Murray show. But this is happening in his head, where right now he feels a little betrayed because she's lied to him And now he's saying, well, wasn't this about me? Weren't we singing about me? Like, I thought you were here for me.
What happened?
And now people are laughing again. The audience is laughing. So he sees himself as a joke.
You're making it all about yourself. And the song is about loving me.
The irony.
Let's take it from the top.
Let's take it from the top. She pulls out a gun.
Is the honeymoon over?
I don't need to explain this. Basically, in his head, he's dreaming of this. This isn't real, but he just feels betrayed. That's what the gunshot is for. That's why he stopped singing with her for that moment. Moving on. She comes to visit him.
I mean, everybody lies a little. I just wanted you to like me.
See? Manipulative bitch. She's the actual Joker of this film. I think that's kind of why they're transitioning away from Joaquin Phoenix, but I don't know. And it does kind of explain the ending of the film a little bit more, but I'm still not on par with this.
I haven't done anything with my life like you have.
But she's went to medical school and she's gotten a degree for... this is the part that confused me a little bit. Did she not value any of that? Is that another backstory thing where like her father wants her to be a psychiatrist and force her to go to medical school, and she's been like, no, I don't want to go to medical school. She's done something with her life. I'm confused by this statement.
Can't you see what she's doing?
Can't you see what she's doing? She's talking about his lawyer.
She doesn't care about you. I do.
You care about Joker, not Arthur. The lawyer cares about Arthur, not the Joker.
Do you know I moved into your old apartment building to make us a home for when you get out? Did your lawyer tell you that?
You did? I don't want to live there.
I'm pregnant.
And then she drops this doozy of information. Obviously, she's lying here. Obviously. They had sex, like, what, a week ago? At most, maybe? I really don't believe that she's pregnant that quickly. Or maybe there's an undisclosed amount of time that's been happening since they had sex, but this is just such a bombshell. It's not been that long since we've seen them in this having the sex. And there's more singing.
Every time, just like me, they long to be close to you.
She's kind of like a siren. She's constantly serenading him with music. Like right now he was pissed off, and then when she says the lyrics that she's someone that wants to be with him, he immediately goes from anger to, really? Do you mean that? Really? Like, he believes it. She's like a siren. She's fucking with Arthur so bad in order to reach Joker. And then, you know, the best part of the trailer that we all saw. It's still a good movie. When it's the moments that's not the songs, it's still a good movie. It literally feels, it has the tone and the pacing of the first Joker film. That's what sucks. That's what sucks, is that it's a good film underneath it. It's not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. It's really not. It's nowhere near as bad as Morbius. It does not deserve all this hate. But the constant bombardment of music is genuinely what's keeping this movie down. Like, really, they could cut out like maybe 60% of the songs and it would be fine. It would be a great movie. To have the music be less frequent but more impactful, you know? Have him sing at certain points when he feels free. Not just have a song every 5 minutes. For the love of God, this isn't an old fucking Disney movie. God, it's nothing but music. See, now he's dancing again. And this is what's very poetic, and this is what hints at the first film. Now we have the violin strings coming in the background. Just like the first film. I think they should have made him more of a dancer than a singer. Less lyrics and more just him feeling the music. I think that's what would have been something a little bit better, is that Harley does the serenading, she's the siren, and Joker does the dancing because he likes to dance.
She told you it was a dumb laugh. That's what she called it. His dumb laugh.
She made up a story when he was a kid so that he would feel better about it, so that he would stop crying, so that he wouldn't kill himself. That he was put on this earth to bring joy, something like that. That's why she called him happy.
It tugs on your heart. It really fucking hurts to hear that. He figured that out the hard way. But the fact that his mother told a complete stranger, a neighbor, sorry, that, yeah, I lied to my son. He's not the joy of the world. I fucking lied to him. I called him happy to basically poke at him. And he believed it, the stupid child. Can you believe it? My idiot child? This all could be part of Arthur's head. He could be thinking the worst of the worst right now, but still, what we're hearing in court, whether it's exaggerative or not in his head, it's still being said in court. Everyone's hearing this, it's being broadcasted, and it's triggering him. It's reminding him that I was told I was a good kid. I was told I would bring smiles to the world. That's why my mother called me happy, because I would make everyone happy. And he just gets knocked back into reality that he was always the joke, even to his own mother. He didn't make everyone happy because he was a good person. He made everyone happy because he was the butt of the joke.
And she couldn't believe that he based his whole life around this made-up story. He was a street clown and he wanted to be a comedian.
She made fun of him for doing that.
She just thought it was ridiculous that he thought he could make people laugh. I mean, she said Arthur wasn't funny at all.
It's just so painful. Like, these parts without the singing are so impactful and scary and suspenseful, especially in the theater with the surround sound, and you can hear the laugh track of the audience laughing at him. I think the laugh track is honestly everything that happened in his head. I really don't think that the court would be laughing at this kind of moment. That's in his head. The insults might be true, the comments might be true, but the laughing, the laugh track of the audience, that's definitely not in court. That has to be in his head. And then we're going back into another song.
But he's only funny by mistake. Is it just
She's the light of his life right now. She has the spotlight. So this is where he starts believing more and more into Harley. She's so evil, devilish smile. Like, she's enjoying this. I mean, this is still all in his head because he's pissed off right now, but even he notices that she's trying to bring this out of him. It's clever, it's very beautiful writing, it's very poetic. It really is a good movie. Underneath the surface is just a constant bombardment of song left and right. It's good. It really is not as bad as everyone keeps saying that it is. Yeah, that sequence would have been good if they just cut off the song right there and it was just a lot less singing, but the fact that he had to finish the song it's just like, fuck, that could have been good. That could have been good. And then he wakes up back in the courthouse.
I can't do this anymore. I want to fire my lawyer. Excuse me?
He wants to fire his lawyer. He's had enough of it. That was the breaking point. He wants to represent himself in court now.
I can represent myself. You're fired.
Everyone loves the chaos. Everyone loves the Joker, not Arthur. And it's kind of telling too, because in reality, we, as the audience, the consumers of product, love the chaos of Joker rather than the good guy of Arthur. You know, the reason Joker is a popular villain is because he's psychotic, he brings out the chaos. If they never made the Joker and they just introduced a character called Arthur Fleck into the Batman universe, you think he'd be popular the way he is today? You think he'd be talked about, idolized on every painting, portrait, video game ever? No, they need to have a villain as entertaining as this one because he brings the chaos out. It's really sad, honestly. It's really sad that he's only liked and loved whenever he's unstable. Everyone cheers and claps and just, yeah, Joker, yeah! But when it comes to Arthur Fleck, that guy's boring. Kill him, yeah, just fucking kill him. So Harley comes to the cell to kind of say, congratulations, oh my god, it's awesome, I'm so happy that you fired your lawyer, that's one small step for Joker. I'm trying to encourage him and tell him that, you know, manipulate him in saying that he's on the right path, he made the right decision, firing his lawyer. They share a kiss and the officer says, hey, no touching. They share another kiss, hey, stop touching. And then this part is a little kind of poetic in a way, it kind of reminds me of Shang Tsung. He's blowing out the smoke and she's inhaling it because the officer guard said, hey, no touching. Technically she didn't touch him, but it really felt like that was saying that she's soul sucking him. Probably unintentional, but that's just kind of how I perceived it, based on all the context from earlier.
Won this case. Fleck knows what he's doing. He knows he's losing.
Yeah, she's really happy, and I think that's the same elevator from the first film. That's the elevator to his apartment. That looks like the same elevator where the camera was zooming in on his face and he smiles as the Joker descending the ladder. I think this is the same elevator of his apartment. I'm gonna put like a side-by-side screenshot and just compare, but I really think that's the same elevator. Everyone cheers for him and applauds him returning to the cells. He takes a moment to appreciate the time and audience that's there for him. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Yeah, so he's an actual supporter of Joker. He wasn't trying to get a kiss because he was being an asshole. He wasn't trying to bully Arthur Fleck. No, he was just genuinely just being pranked as well. He was also just being used as the butt of the joke for the officers. And then he gains all the support of everyone. He's just kind of admiring and enjoying the fact that he's gained friends. People love him when he's Joker, not when he's Arthur. And that's when the laugh starts to come back out. See? Harvey Dent calls in a witness. It's my boy. It's so good to see him again from the first movie.
Gary.
Look, he's so nice. He even says, hey, Gary. He welcomes him back in. Even though Gary is kind of scared to look him in the eye. He thinks that Gary's on his side because he spared Gary, and he's always been friends with Gary. Gary and him had a good relationship before he killed that other guy. The guy that was an asshole to him, that gave him the gun to begin with. But he just feels awkward about the situation because he's like, I need to tell the truth, but at the same time, Arthur was not a bad person.
Mr. Puddles.
I actually kind of really like the fact that he's performing here to be really fucking dumb to defend himself, because there's an actual court case of a guy who murdered his wife in front of his own son, where he blatantly admits to everything, and he says, if you're gonna say that I murdered her, which I did, you're gonna tell the story right.
Because I want you to know the actual facts. I did kill, but I want you to tell it like it is if you gonna tell it.
Like, the guy represents himself in court, and he's the fucking dumbest idiot on the planet. So I kind of really, I thought this was really comical. This was really funny.
Gary Puddles?
Puddles?
Your last name is Puddles?
After playing a whole persona, he breaks out of it. Wait, fucking, really? Your last name is Puddles? What? I never knew that. I really like this part. It's so stupid. It's so pointless. There's a lot of people that represented themselves in court thinking it was a good idea, and it ends up like this, really cringe and stupid and just embarrassing.
You expect us to believe that your last name is Puddles? Puddles?
Sounds to me like a joke. Holy shit, your last name is Puddles? He's not trying to be an asshole, but it is very new to light information of someone that he's known for a while.
Yes, I saw you. Didn't deserve to die.
Arthur was asking him, he was being a bully and an asshole. You saw that. You knew he was an asshole, and he was bullying everyone, even you. And that's when he responded, but he didn't deserve to die.
Never mind. Did you catch my act on the Murray Franklin show later that night?
No, I didn't. I was locked up at the police station. They thought you might come and kill me.
Isn't that convenient, Mr. Puddles?
And then, he plays the character a little bit too long to where it gets a little irritating. So he's saying that he didn't see that night on the Murray show Joker kill Murray. And he's like, unbelievable. Like, everyone knows me. Everyone saw that. But he's saying, no, I wasn't there. I was literally being held up by the police because I was the only surviving victim of the murders. I was held there overnight. So he's a little disappointed that he's like, how does everyone watch it but not my friend? Fuck.
You didn't see the show. You didn't see anything I had to say. I can't believe it.
See? He loves Gary. He really respects Gary. And I understand that, but my God, move on, please.
Was I the same old Joker that I always been?
Arthur, don't do this to yourself. It isn't you.
It isn't me.
Yeah, he's telling the truth. Gary's saying that, don't do this to yourself. This isn't you. I used to know you before you were the clown. You were a very awkward guy. You didn't make a lot of people laugh. You wanted to be a great guy. But don't do this, Arthur. This isn't you. And he's just kind of moving on with it. Like, no, this is me.
So you don't think this is me? Well, maybe you don't know who I really was. Because nobody knew I existed. Who do you think they see, Mr. Puddles?
It's a little ironic that he's like, well, maybe you didn't know me that well. You didn't know his last name was Puddles.
Joker.
They see Joker and they love Joker, not Arthur Fleck. Arthur Fleck existed to no one.
From Murray Franklin to those goddamn fat, stupid guards at Arkham.
Yeah, they hear this insult and then they rape him later in the shower.
Why are you doing this to me, Arthur?
What? Gary, I like you. I told you I wouldn't hurt you, and I didn't.
He did keep his promise though. He didn't hurt you and he liked you, Gary. He's not trying to hurt you at all. But I get it. He's traumatized. He witnessed literally someone die right in front of his fucking head, or right in front of his fucking face, by getting his head smashed in. That's what I was trying to say, but English sucks.
I couldn't do anything that day. I felt so small.
At first I thought he was being self-aware with this comment, that he was scared and he felt so small, and I thought there was gonna be a joke out of that. But maybe it was literal, because literally no one laughs and nothing happens after this part. But in the theater I was like, LOL.
Do you know what that feels like, Arthur? You were the only one at work who never made fun of me. You were the only one that was nice to me.
Yeah, he knows that this isn't Arthur. He knows that this is Joker. This is a different personality. He just wants his friend back, but he can't because now he's turned into this, and now he's scared of him as the Joker with the makeup on.
No, Your Honor, the defense rests. That's all, folks.
And then he actually says it, which is kind of cringe. And then they start another song, because, you know, now he's able to walk out of the courtroom for a little bit. Kicks the door open, and then another performance goes on here. And this is what I was talking about before. Like, he's more of the dancer, and she's more of the singer. She's more of the ones tugging the strings, as you can say, because she's playing the piano. But she's the siren manipulating him. And he's the dancer. He's just dancing along for it because he doesn't know what love is and what it's supposed to be and what it isn't supposed to be. But this goes on for too long. Too many songs. Then he gets back into prison and he's like, oh, I'm in trouble. Because of what I said on TV. They slam his head into the wall. Which is, I gotta say, I don't know if that was a stuntman or if that was like a foam wall or something, but that looked and it sounded like it fucking hurt. My god. And then they start carrying him away to the showers. They wipe his face of all the makeup. They take down his pants. And, anyway.
Lucky me.
After that, she starts singing again. He grabs the chair that he was thinking about in his head, that one sequence, and you start thinking that he's gonna sing and perform, which he probably was.
Caution, this is not a comedy club.
So it kind of ruins the moment for Arthur, because he's like, well, fuck, I was ready to sing and all that kind of stuff. He was gonna bring the chair, bash it on Harvey Dent's skull. He was gonna go up to the judge, beat him up, but then something changes in him as soon as he gets embarrassed.
I wanted to come out here as Joker, and I was gonna go on an angry rant and blame all of you.
You see how she smiles?
This fucking miserable life.
Society.
But it wouldn't matter because I can't do this anymore. It was all just a fantasy.
And he gets pissed. You see his smile drop. This is the guy that we saw in the back of the room at the very beginning of the movie where he's kind of observing and watching. He's smiling and kind of like grinning at the fact that he's in the same hospital as Joker. But then he loses his smile.
There is no Joker. It's just me.
And when he says that, he pisses off a lot of his supporters, a lot of his fans. Not just Harley Quinn, but the guy in the prison as well.
I just want to blow it all up and start a new life.
He's Arthur Fleck now. He suppressed the Joker to come out and be truthful, and people leave him. He gets rewarded for being the joke by the guards, and he gets punished for being Arthur. Self-explanatory.
Knock. Knock. Who's there? Arthur Fleck. Arthur Fleck who?
That's the end of the joke. That's the end of the joke. That's how he felt literally in that moment. He was trying to be good again. He was trying to be Arthur Fleck. He was trying to not be Joker. And people just hate him for it for some fucking reason. So he calls Harley and starts serenading her again. He wants her to come back to the court because he's about to get executed. So now she doesn't come back to the courtroom. He wipes off his makeup. He's trying to be Arthur. He's miserable and upset.
In the matter of the people
And then they're reading
of
the
the
verdict.
state of New York versus Arthur Fleck, guilty as charged. Murder in the second degree.
And then this is where it gets good finally. You start seeing the violence. The Joker comes out. Someone set a bomb in a vehicle right outside the courthouse and blew a hole in the wall with Arthur right in front of the blast radius. Surprisingly, he does not die, but other people do. He just gets blown across the courtroom. And then there's a really beautiful long sequence of him just kind of like being disoriented, discombobulated. He's trying to get up on his feet. He's wondering like what the fuck just happened. And then we see another Joker in the distance. So at first it caught me off guard because I was like, wait, what the fuck? Is there actually two people? That wouldn't make any sense in the movies at all. But this is just a supporter. This is his biggest fan. This is one of his biggest fans. Where he dresses as him on purpose to be the distraction for Arthur Fleck, also to show his support for the Joker, and he helps him escape.
Motherfuckers got what they deserve.
This is where I thought like the good shit was happening, like this finally something that we were waiting for, a continuation from the first movie, but it happens at almost 2 hours, an hour and 55 minutes. And it's just like, fuck, why couldn't we just have this? We like continue the first film, please.
They're gonna burn the whole fucking city down now.
Maybe that's why he gets out the car. He didn't want the whole city to burn down. He witnessed that from the first movie. I don't know. I don't know why he decides to leave and get out of the car when he was just saved and rescued by a fellow peer. I love you, Joker! I love you! Anyway, so he runs for a while and he escapes the cops and he's just kind of exhausted, tired, full of ashes. Somehow he's not been caught, but whatever. And then he returns to the stairs from the first movie and he sees Harley up there. And he runs to her, full of love, emotion, he's just so, it's cute in a way, you know? You cut your hair. Aw, he's so cute.
You hear me? Someone blow the courthouse. We can go.
We're not going away, Arthur. All we had was the fantasy, and you gave up.
She does say Arthur.
There is no Joker. That's what she said, isn't it?
See? She's holding it against him now. She wants to get away from Arthur, be with Joker. I said this a million times, but this is cementing it. He finally found love, you know? He felt the same way about, like, his mom. He was a mama's boy. He's like, I can't live without my mom. I need my mom here. And then all this shit happens, and now he's going through the same exact anxiety again. He's going through such a huge panic attack mode right now where, oh, fuck, I'm about to lose someone that I love, and she said that she has my baby in her? Now I'm gonna lose my son and or daughter, too? Like, she's really fucking with Arthur. She really hates Arthur, but she loves Joker.
The show. That is
And then she starts singing again.
Stop. The kind of a glow.
I don't want to sing anymore.
Please stop. I don't want to sing anymore. Please don't make me become Joker again. This was funny. Because literally, this is the biggest part of the film where, you know, that's the biggest part of the film where everyone's hating. It's too much singing, it's too much music. She's serenading him, she's the siren. And even he's sick of it. Arthur Fleck is sick of it. Shh. Just talk, stop singing. Shut the fuck up.
Goodbye, Arthur.
Goodbye, Arthur. I hope to see Joker again. So she breaks up with him. Basically, that's what's happening in this scene. She breaks up with him. With Arthur. Yeah, she's kind of a bitch. She's kind of a manipulative asshole, huh? Kind of like what his character is supposed to be in the comics and in the films. You know, you get it. It's a role reversal. It's a flip and switch, a bait. And this is where I feel like reality, for him, he's accepting that he's been broken up with, but the next scene is completely not real. I'm thinking that for a reason, and I'll show that in a minute. So the cops come, they find him, they arrest him, they bring him back into the squad car, in which they bring him back to prison, and like everything's back to normal, I guess. Normal, like he's back in prison. But then he gets a call that someone's here to visit him, and the only person we've known to visit him has been Harley.
Fleck, let's go. We got a visitor.
He's like, what? Harley? It can't be Harley, right? She said goodbye. She broke up with me. And the guy in the corner here, he's always in the corner. The guy that had a smile and then he lost it. You can see his hand in his pocket right here.
Let's go.
Why are you not escorting the prisoner?
Hey, Arthur. Hold up. Can I tell you a joke I came up with?
Is it quick?
Yeah, I can make it quick. A psychopath walks into a bar and sees this famous clown sitting there, all alone, totally drunk. It's pathetic. What a disappointment. I used to watch you on TV. What can I get you? You can get me anything. Perfect. Psychopath says, how about I get you what you fucking deserve?
The inmate feels betrayed by Joker because he looked up to the Joker as an idol. He's the psychopath going to the bar and seeing the clown crying. He doesn't want to see the clown crying because that's not Joker, that's Arthur. So he kills Arthur Fleck. Another song happens. The psychopath's smiling. And then pay attention here.
That's what people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May.
So, there's a couple things that could be happening here. I'm taking this as two ways. My first theory is that everything after the breakup with Harley Quinn has been fake. He did not actually go back to the hospital or to the asylum, or maybe he did, and this part is fake right here. Because in the first film, remember, when he was in Arkham Hospital, he was in white gowns, white clothing. He was in the psych ward. He was dancing around with bloody footprints. But that never happened. That was never addressed in this film. That's not anything that we have seen to be true. So with an unreliable narrator, because he got broken up with Harley Quinn, maybe this is something that he wanted to have happened. He wanted to die. He's been suicidal before. This is something that's been told many times in the movie already. He wanted to die before, so now maybe after losing the love of his life as he sees, this is an ending that he wants. He wants to die. He just wants to be put out of his misery. He wanted to make it quick. So this is fake, right? He wants to die. Or another theory that I like is that Arthur Fleck dies in this moment, but he comes back in the third film, if they decide to make a third film, as only Joker. No more Arthur Fleck. Arthur is dead. Meanwhile, the Joker lives on. I'm hoping that somehow, in some way, he survives this stabbing. He gets rushed to the hospital, he gets saved, even though he's supposed to be executed anyway because of, he had a guilty verdict. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think what they're trying to actually go with is that this guy here is the Joker. He has more anonymity. He's just an inmate. So he cuts his lips open and he becomes the Joker. Either Heath Ledger's Joker, or I don't know, but like maybe he becomes another acolyte, another follower of the Joker, like the guy earlier that was dressed up as Joker, helping him break out of the courtroom. Maybe that's what's happening here, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna make this guy the Joker, this underestimated character in the background, the actual Joker in a Joker 3 if they make it. But I want to accept this as either he wants to die because he just lost Harley Quinn, and this is his death here. Or he did get stabbed, and Arthur Fleck dies, but his Joker personality perseveres, kind of like Moon Knight, Or number 3, which is probably what they're gonna go with, is that this guy ends up being the actual Joker. This guy has the smile, the giggle, the laugh. He takes his entire personality, just none of the backstory. And that's how they could find a replacement Joker for their films in Matt Reeves' universe or whatever the fuck. I really hope they don't do that, but that's probably what's gonna happen. And I hate thinking about that. I really hope that's not the case. Todd Phillips does direct a good movie. He does write a good movie. It's not bad at all when it gets to the Joker parts that we all know and love from the first film. But sadly, because of all that fucking music, it's just because they made it a musical rather than only using 2, maybe 3 songs at most. Because they made it into a musical constantly, that's definitely what's killing this movie. And 2024 is not going to be the year of Joker. People are still going to dress up as the clown because it's a good character from the first film. It's a good makeup, good clothing, good storytelling from the first film. Like, there's going to be people dressing up as Joker for Halloween for sure. But it's not going to be like 2019, where it was the year of Joker. This is not going to be the second year of Joker, because I can understand why the critics are just, there's too many songs, or this is more of a Harley Quinn show, this is more of a Lady Gaga performance type of movie. And I get it. I don't know if contractually Lady Gaga was obligated to sing all these songs, if she wanted to sing all these songs, otherwise she was like, no, I'm not going to sign in. It has to be like A Star is Born. It has to have music. Otherwise, I'm not going to be your Harley Quinn. She is a really good Harley Quinn. But I don't know if it's Warner Brothers that wanted her to sing all these songs, or if it was Lady Gaga that's like, no, I won't work for you unless I sing all these songs. I don't know. But it's definitely the music that was holding this film back. It's not an awful movie by any means. It's performing less right now than Morbius, and that's painful, honestly. It's not a bad movie by any means, but it is being held back by a lot of the songs, and to me personally, especially, this fucking dumbass cartoon shit right here, where he's fighting with his shadow, the evil Joker. Meanwhile, this is just Arthur. This cartoon does not fit this film at all. This needs to be deleted ASAP, because we already know that he's fighting internally with a split personality. We already know this from this entire fucking film. We don't need a childish cartoon to explain this. Yeah, this to me was like a what the fuck am I watching? The first 3 minutes of the movie, I was really upset and pissed off by this. This guy's dumbass, ugly, stupid face, I hate it. And then she uses him, gets impregnated with this child, but she wants to make a Joker child. And maybe that will be the next Joker. Who knows? Maybe he actually does die, and then her offspring is the actual Joker. That'd be really weird, but I mean, she's psychotic as it is, so that might be a stance that they take. I don't know. I hope not, though. The movie does have potential to be really good, and it wasn't a terrible movie. It's just only the last 30 minutes was probably where it got good and where all the hype actually was finally coming out, and it's like, oh my god, the building blew up. Oh my god, he's escaping. Oh my god, his supporters are there again. Where were they for 2 years? You know, this is where I was like, okay, here we go, finally, some good old Joker action. And then it just kind of, it didn't last that long. It was good. He got broken up with, now he's miserable. This is reflecting the first shot in the first film where he's taken in the back of a car with his head on the window. And then yeah, I guess I'm still thinking this is all fake. This is the ending he wants because he just got broken up with. He wants to die. He's been suicidal. If he doesn't have Harley, he doesn't have anything. This is what he wants. I don't think he actually died. I think he did get stabbed. Arthur Fleck dies, his personality, and he completely embodies the Joker, completely forgets about Arthur Fleck. He just disassociates from that person entirely in the third film. That's what I'm really hoping for, that this ending could be. That would be much more poetic. That'd be much more solid for his character development. And then we don't go back to the singing. Hopefully we don't go back to the singing. I don't care if there's 1 or 2 songs, but for the love of God, it was nothing but song, a little bit of plot, song, you know, it's just, it was too much. Anyway, I'm gonna have to cut all that shit down, but basically, not a bad movie, as everyone's making it out to be, not at all, not in the slightest. But it does get irritating and annoying because you want to enjoy the Joker experience that we've already experienced, that we've already seen in 2019, and it's just, this has the same feel, the same tone, the same cinematography, the same violence. It's still good. It's just under the surface of all the Lady Gaga centralized music, I suppose. Nothing against Lady Gaga. I love Lady Gaga. She's beautiful, fantastic. She's an amazing Harley Quinn. I just don't know who made the decision to put all this music in there. It just really detracted from the film of what it could have been. Anyway, yeah. That's about it. Cool. I got my thoughts out there. I don't know how long it's going to take me to edit, but fuck it. This was a good film that I had to talk about. Also, watch Transformers 1. That one was a good one, too.